Recently I did a mistake. I bought Satisfactory. It was not a mistake. And you know, I knew what was my relationships with Factorio. But I read that Satisfactory is like an easier, more simple version of Factorio. But then I tried it, and oh boy was I wrong. Nevertheless, I want to talk about factory games and why I think these are one of the most addictive kind of games. And I haven't done a single video for YouTube in a month. I barely finished any work. I didn't feel that I want to go outside or go out somewhere.
Lonely. I am so lonely. I have no body of my own.
If you will decide to play this game, you need to have at least a couple of weeks or a month of free time. You know, these are the kind of games that can literally ruin your life, mess up your relationships. It can get you fired from your job. Your family will ask if you're doing drugs or what has happened to you, why you're not calling, why no one has seen you in a month. No wonder Factorio is called Cractorio. If you haven't played these kind of games, you think that you don't like it, you don't get it. Let me tell you, I was there. The more complex the game is, I think the more addictive it can be. But the entry barrier is also much higher. So a couple of years ago, I decided to try Factorio. I didn't really like it. I played for 3 hours. I thought, what, you're setting up some electricity, some conveyor belts. What is this? It's not for me. But then my friend that showed me Factorio got me through this initial barrier. He explained to me what I should actually do, how to automate stuff, and then the desire to automate everything, to make everything work seamless, perfectly. That is a very addictive feeling when you get it right. I've been away for like a month. Later, I had to quit it like a drug. And now I got in the same trap. I thought that I will not like Satisfactory, or it will be just a simple game that will not take a lot of time. So when I tried it, 3 weeks passed and I had to quit it, and I decided to make this video so I could like put a full stop on this game at this moment. Spoiler alert, I didn't. And continue doing something else and playing some other games and making videos about those games. So why are these factory games so freaking addictive? You know, when you take out the calculator and Excel spreadsheet for a game, you realize that things are getting serious. And when you understand the actual goal of the game and you already know the ways on how you can achieve those, it will be really hard to stop, because your mind can solve these puzzles faster than you can implement them in a game. And in Satisfactory it is really the case, because building in Satisfactory takes so much more time. And we will get, by the way, to the comparison of Factorio and Satisfactory later in the video. So basically there is this endless loop. You build something and it kind of works, then you realize that it can work better, you rebuild it, then you realize that you need much more resources to build something, so you go and look and find other ores, iron ores, copper ores, coal. You go, you look around, you find them, you build your miners, you have to get it to the base. Now, the things that I just explained in 2 words will take you like a day or half a day in the game. Then you realize that you haven't been doing some perfect ratios. There is not enough of iron ingots to produce the amount of iron rods that you need, because you need more screws, because it's not enough to create those reinforced iron plates. What do you do then? You rebuild everything. And it's like this endless loop, figuring out the puzzle, solving it, and then realizing that you can do it better. You need to scale. You need to create your base with scalability in mind. You count ratios and you're literally going crazy. So then you see that there is a cool thing that you want to unlock. To do that, you need to find more copper, and you need to find some new ingredient, and you need to learn how to traverse faster. Oh, you can open a jetpack. I need to research this jetpack, and to do that I need to do this and that, and you take out the notebook to set a list of plans that you have in this freaking game. While doing that, do you think I care about the fact that I didn't wash dishes for a week, haven't been in the shower for 5 days? Who cares? I need to build my base. The factory must grow. All of these things that you have to solve, these are basically puzzles. You cannot play this mindlessly. You actually have to engage your brain, and I think that's also a very cool part about these games, because when you actually have to think hard to play a game, it's also making it more engaging, in my opinion. There are a lot of tools and calculators online where you can count proportions like throughput, output rate, so you can basically understand how many smelters do you need, how many assemblers do you need. It's making it much easier, but I didn't use those because I think it will strip away you from the feeling when you solve this by yourself. Me from the future here, so I was wrong. I tried to use some tools for Satisfactory, and this made the game so much better and so much more interesting. I approached this game like Factorio, and what I realized is that Satisfactory is so much different than Factorio, even with its core mechanics, and I will talk about this later in the video. As destructive as these games can really be in terms of stripping you away from the real life, in my opinion, they can also really train your brain. These are not just stupid as games where you don't have to think, you just shoot some guys or follow some check marks on the map. These are games where you have to use math and you have to hit some walls while you're playing it, realizing that you did a big mistake and now you have to fix yourself and now you have to rebuild everything. You created your factory in a way that you cannot scale it and now you need to scale it. Oh shit. Or you created your factory so now there is no place to put a train station and you don't have enough resources. You have to automate logistics. You end up automating the automation. It looks like I'm complaining right now, but I'm actually saying that these things are so interesting and so much fun. The problem is they usually take so much time. If you have some things to do, I had to quit this game to make this video, to work, to earn some money for my rent. If you're playing a game like this can become a challenge. Let's get to the Satisfactory versus Factorio debate. Right away, I love both games. They are both amazing in their own way. The world of Satisfactory is handcrafted. It's very vertical. There are a lot of different biomes. There are some secrets and caves that you can find, and that makes this game very immersive. Seeing how your factory grows higher, not only expands, and you just want to create a building, not just like a simple Factorio layout, right? But on the other hand, in Satisfactory, the most simple things take so much more time. You have to build everything by hand. The blueprint thing where you create blueprints, it's really small considering how large are those buildings. You cannot really make a blueprint that will have 2 refineries for oil, one after each other. When you want to build some railroads for trains in Factorio, you usually just do this. In Satisfactory, you just put it manually, each section by section. You have to put a platform that you will put a railroad on. In terms of Factorio, the tedious stuff like rebuilding the usual things that you already built hundreds of times, when you get the building drones, you just press Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. So you have more time to spend on actually solving the puzzles instead of just doing this monotone routine stuff. Especially in the Space Age DLC, on each planet you have a new mechanic. Every time you have to solve everything from the beginning. Like on Gleba, everything is getting spoiled and now you have to rethink how you build everything. On Fulgora, you have to learn how to recycle scrap into the ingredients, so it's basically everything is backwards. But Satisfactory, because of the first person and the fact that you can build in 3D, you can build huge skyscrapers with a factory inside, this makes it amazing. I did not realize this until after I started to edit this video. From my experience, the first part of Satisfactory you can play however you want, until the end of phase 3. But after that you have to treat your base like a building project. You cannot just scale infinitely like you can do in Factorio. You have the main boss in Factorio and then you can just put all the production on the sides of it and you can just scale them indefinitely. Improve your main boss, have more throughput. Here it's theoretically possible, but because of how much time does it take to build something and because of limited amount of throughput from the ores, you cannot have many miners on the ores. You can have only one miner and you can put everything only through conveyors. You cannot have inserters. So you have to treat your factories like a building project, where in advance you have the spreadsheet of how many assemblers, how many smelters, how many of everything you should have to build something that you need. And because of that, in Satisfactory, each part to proceed in the game is as complex as the power armor in Factorio. Also, I did not get to the end game of Satisfactory, but in Factorio your goal is to produce science, to produce more and more science. And the main walkthrough of Satisfactory is actually creating the needed amount of parts to proceed. You do not have to make more and more and more of them yet, I guess. Maybe there is something else in the end game. I think this is the biggest difference in these two games. If you're wondering if you want to play one or the other, in Factorio you just treat it like automation sandbox, and in Satisfactory you should treat it like a building project with automation. I enjoyed it so much more when I started to use Satisfactory tools, where I can see how many buildings do I have to build, and then I can create something beautiful because I already know how many things do I need, and I can make them fit into some beautiful building instead of just creating this endless line of assemblers or smelters that I don't know where should it finish. Anyways, the point of this video: factory games, especially Factorio and Satisfactory, are amazing. They are so amazing that it can change your priorities in life. If you will decide to try these games, approach them carefully. And like with any drugs, it's hard to play 3 hours of it and then just put it. In 3 hours, you will not be able to accomplish anything. 3 hours turn into 6 hours. 6 hours turn into 12. And what have you done? What have you accomplished? Not much, honestly. There is still more to do. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning. If you decide to try these games, be careful. Make sure that you have a lot of spare time in the upcoming couple of weeks. I haven't made any videos recently, and this was the reason why. So I decided to discuss this reason. I am truly grateful that I can make these videos and see your responses. The dream comes through, and I will hope that eventually I will be able to do this full time. Thank you, and stay safe.